Court is in session in cause number 327364. Case is style the state of Texas versus Shannon Keon Ardoin. Mr. Ardoin, is that your full name?
Yes, sir, it is.
Mr. Ardoin, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Ardoin, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir, I do.
Mr. Ardoin, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Ardoin?
Fine, sir.
Okay, Mr. Ardoin, I have before me, your attorney, Mr. Giles Cole. Mr. Cole, do you waive a record in Mr. Ardoin's case?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ardoin, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information alleges that on or about June 29th of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of criminal trespassing. Mr. Ardoin, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir, I do.
And to this charge, Mr. Ardoin, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Plead guilty, sir.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir, I am.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ardoin, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. On page 2 of this document, there are a set of initials, and the initials are on a line that's next to a box that's checked guilty. Mr. Ardoin, did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir, I did.
Mr. Ardoin, I also have a signature on page 3 of this document above the line that is titled Defendant. Mr. Ardoin, did you also sign this document?
Yes, sir, I did.
Mr. Ardoin, the next document that I have is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. At the bottom of this document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Mr. Ardoin, did you also sign this document?
Yes, sir, I did.
At the top of this same document, Mr. Ardoin, there are 2 boxes that are checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, I do.
The second box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ardoin, did you sign a document out there on paper that is titled Discovery Certification?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ardoin, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I've just mentioned to you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir, he did.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir, he explained it to me.
And is everything in these documents true and is everything in? Wait up. Why do you have John West's name coming out as attorney on here? On Ardoin's case. You can just make that change. Here you go. Okay, now, Mr. Ardoin, is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir, they are.
And Mr. Ardoin, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir, I am.
Mr. State, do we have a, State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor. State offers states 1.
Objections.
No objections. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Ardoin, your attorney, Mr. Cole, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir, I am.
Has he provided fully effective and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir, he has.
Mr. Cole, you've advised and counseled Mr. Ardoin. Is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, sir, Your Honor.
Mr. Ardoin, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. Let me see the old one. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
Your Honor, in exchange for the defendant's plea in this case, it appears that defense counsel negotiated with Ms. Nelson a recommendation for 5 days in the Jefferson County Jail. And we're certainly not opposed to the defendant getting credit for any time he has previously spent in jail on this case.
Mr. Ardoin, the state is offering that you serve 5 days in Jefferson County Jail. You will be given credit for any time that you are entitled to get by law. The court cost in this case is $337. Mr. Ardoin, will you be able to pay the $337?
No, sir, I will not.
Okay, Mr. Ardoin, I have before me a document that is titled Affidavit of Indigence. And this document, it has your signature and this document was signed on April 26th of 2022. Now, Mr. Ardoin, this document contains your monthly income and assets and your monthly expenses. Mr. Ardoin, is this information still true and correct today?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, Mr. Ardoin, based on the information that's in your affidavit of indigence, the court is going to find that you are indigent. And based on that finding, the court cost of $337 will be waived. That just simply means that you will not have to be paid, you will not be required to pay it. And it's going to be waived pursuant to Article 42.15 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, because the court is finding that you are indigent. Now, Mr. Ardoin, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir, I do.
Do you think the state's offer is fair and just?
I do.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir, I do.
Mr. Ardoin, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Ardoin, this will conclude your case. You can knock on the door and follow the bailiff, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. This is, the next person is Joshua Atterbury.
Your Honor, could I go offline and speak to DA Nelson real quick?
Okay, hold on a minute. Let me get off the YouTube.